Hi everybody, it's Karen Lazenby. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator living in the UK. If you'd like to purchase any of the items I'm using today, you can do so from my Stampin' Up shop. It is karenlazenby.stampinup.net. I will also post a list of all the items I'm going to use to make the card today and below the video. I would be grateful if you could subscribe to my channel, because I'm looking for subscriptions to be able to do my own live videos on YouTube. And if you use this month's source code, which is this one on the top of the screen, 2D4FCHG4, and spend up to £150, I can send you a free gift in May. If you spend over £150, don't use the host code, because you can claim your own Stampin' Up rewards from Stampin' Up. We have a end of year sale happening at the moment, which is available out of our January to June catalogue and our annual catalogue, which is retiring. So there are a lot of items for sale in there. So if you want to take a look at my website, these are all available to view. Our new annual catalogue has arrived, but as yet, because it's not live till May the 3rd, I cannot show you anything inside the catalogue, but I can use items that are carried over from the old catalogue. So I'm going to pop that there for the host code. I'd like you to gain some rewards if you want. And we're going to be making a card today using our Jar of Flowers stamp set. And now this stamp set is on low inventory at the moment, but you can still order it. And it's also carried over into our next annual catalogue, which goes live on the 3rd of May. I'm going to be using the sunflowers, the jar, and the stems out of this one. I'm also going to be using the Stitch So Sweetly dies, the large one of these, for the front of the card. And I'm also going to be using the Timeless Tulips, and I'm going to be using the Get Well Soon and the Hello, which is at the top for the insert. The colours I'm going to be using today is our Daffodil Delight, which is a lovely bright summery colour, spring colour. I'll just move that out of the way. And the card we're making is 5 6/8 by 4 1/8. I'm going to do some stamping, and I'm also going to be doing some colouring in with you today as well. So we'll get some stamping done first. I've already, ahead of time, put some stamps onto blocks, and I'll tell you the letters of the blocks, which are available on my website as we're going through them. And I'm going to be doing the stamping in Memento Black, Tuxedo Memento Black, and I'm going to be using one of our Stampin' Classic pads, stamping pads in Pear Pizzazz for the stems of the flowers. Now, our stamp pads are so easy to use, so nice and juicy, and they just flip, fold and click shut. Right, I'll do the black stamping first. I'm going to be using, like the sunflowers, like I said, I'm just going to do some light tapping on the pad, and I'm using block D. As you can see, our blocks have fingertip, whichever way you hold them, they have fingertip holding, so that you're not going to contaminate the cardstock. So I'm going to start the stamping. I'm going to do this first and just give a slight cap. These are photopolymer stamp sets, and because I'm using my Stampin' Up! Graph paper, I have got a bit of cushioning, but you do need a bit of cushioning underneath, and that's that one. I'm going to stamp the jar, which is block D again. Right, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. I'll stamp the sentiment for the inside of the card. I'll also have to trim a little bit off this. I'll close that ink pad up. And now I'm going to use the paper Zars for the stems inside the flower, the jar. There we go. I do think that's all the stamping that we need to do. Now I have gone ahead of time and cut these out on the Scan and Cut, so I will be fussy cutting this one out towards the end of the card. So I'll pop that there, pop that one there, and we'll get some blends out. When you buy off Stampin' Up, everything matches. You've got the pens. I've got Daffodil Delight, which I'm going to use today, which is the cardstock I'm going to use. You also get the inks as well to match the cardstock. So when you use the blends, they come in a pack of 2, and they are, you've got 2 ends on them, which is a bullet end and a brush end, and they are fantastic. And for shading and colouring in, they are absolutely brilliant. Right, I'm going to colour just small circles, start off in the centre of the flower, just go up to the top of the petal. I just tend to turn mine just to get, don't have to be perfect. I don't class myself as an artist. That's 2 done. Just work out to the edge of the petals again. And the reason I use Tuxedo Black Memento is because I'm using blends. These are alcohol based pens. Oh, this one here I'm just going to colour in yellow, but I'm going to give it some definition when I've finished doing the sunflowers. I'm going to come in with, that was the light Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to come in with the dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to use the brush tip again. And all I'm going to do is just go slightly in the centre and a tiny little bit over the edge of the bud in the middle. So it just gives a little bit of a shade. And while I'm using this one, I'm just going to go over the that's that. Then I'm going to come in with the Mango Melody, and this is the light, and I'm just going to go a little bit further round. Then I'm going to come back in with the Daffodil Delight, the dark one, and I'm going to blend those in. And then this time I'm not going right to the top of the petals to keep those nice and bright yellow. So I'm just blending all the colours in the middle out. And then I'll finish off with the light Daffodil Delight. Blend those out to the top again. And there we go. I've got the jar that I cut out, so I'm going to have to do the stamping for the stems inside the jar. There we go. And then I'm going to come in with some greenery for the leaves. Just let that dry a little bit. And I'm going to use Old Olive, and it's the dark one I'm using. And I'm just doing little dots where the leaves are. Come in with the light on this one. With these being a bit thicker, I can blend that out. And I'm just going to go up the side of these leaves. And then come back in with the dark Old Olive. And then this will be the end of the colouring in for that. So that's how we're looking so far. So now I'm going to bring in the card base, and I'm going to glue this to the front of the card. And I'm going to put that on with some snail, stamp and seal. Oh, doesn't seem to be catching. There we go. I'll pop that on the front. A nice border on. Nice little card, this one. And then I'm going to pop these up onto dimensionals, which again can be purchased from my Stampin' Up shop. These Stitch So Sweetly dies have all got the stitching around the outside. They are so pretty when you do put them onto the card. This one I'm going to put some Wink of Stella on, which is a pen we use that puts glitter onto the flowers, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. Let's see if you can see that. If the light catches. I'll pop that onto some dimensionals. And that pops on the top of there. Like that. And then I'm going to cut the sentiment out with my snips. You can buy snips from Stampin' Up, but I have had mine years, so I just make do with what I've got. And there we go. I'm just going to glue that at the bottom of the card with some Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. I'll have to get a new pot out. That's the front of the card done, finished. I might put a little bit of water into the pot using light grey granite, just to give it a bit of more depth, like that. And all we have to do now is cut this down with the paper trimmer. All paper trimmer comes with a scoring tool and a cutting blade. Just quite handy to have. And then we're going to pop that into the centre using Tombow. And that's just a nice bright spring card for somebody that needs cheering up, I think. And there we go. Lovely little card. I hope you agree. So if you could subscribe to my channel, I will be putting this onto YouTube. I need some subscriptions to get me to 1,000 people to subscribe so I can do my own channel. And my website is karenlazenby.stampinup.net. I'm also on Instagram, klcrafts58. So if you want to see any cards that I've made, you can do so there. And they are also available on my website to go and have a look. Right, so that's it for today. I will put this onto YouTube and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching and bye for now.